Okay, we have a few more participants not joined yet. Okay, we will start. Yeah. Oh, my video. Okay, welcome Matajis. Hari Krishna. How are you all today? Towards the end of the year already. Is the work still getting busy? Still busy catching up something?
Hare Krishna.
Hari Krishna, Munita Mataji, welcome back. Are you all feeling relaxed or are you
Hare
all feeling
Krishna.
stressed to reach the targets or something?
No, it's been a long day for me. I was in the hospital the entire time.
Oh my god, somebody's not well, Mataji?
My mom had her knee injection.
Oh, I see. I was running around sending the
Took really
blood
long.
for Mentakap victims. So, and then that's why I came back and I realized that I haven't done few slides. Then after so long, 7 o'clock suddenly I saw 2, 3 slides corrupted. Quickly do again. And then quickly showered. Yeah. Okay, welcome Matajis. Good evening. Thank you for coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're expecting a few more, but we will continue. We will resume first. Okay, Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Prayers to the spiritual teachers. Because it's already 7:30, so we'll skip the short time for now. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narsimha iti namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So welcome to week 9. Before that, you have to speak your mind. If you had enough money to do whatever you like, what would you do? Who wants to share their thoughts? Kajai Mataji, I saw you were excited. He, like that. Would you like to share? What would you do?
Hi, good evening, Matajis. Wow, if I had all the money in the world, it's one of my dream. I mean, Mataji, you know, right? I want to try to change people's mindsets, the paradigm of minds, and have a center to teach the science behind Hinduism. There's so much gold in
the science behind
that, just to teach the science behind the religion, why we do certain things, the science behind it, all forgotten, you know. I really, really want to advocate that and teach the youngsters today that in Hinduism, everybody says the ways of life and all that. There's a lot of science and knowledge that you can learn from it. If I had all the money in the world, that's definitely what I would do.
So how would you exactly engage the money in your mission?
Build the place, marketing, you know, hiring, training, you know, to make sure that it sustains. And, you know, more
to build like an academy. All right.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, the subject is that subject matters. So yes.
The Vedic science.
Everything lah, Mataji, Ayurveda, you know, we've got yoga, and we got so much of gold, which
the Vedic scriptures is a handbook. You have everything, Ayurveda, politics, economics, everything is there.
We don't have to learn something new, actually. Everything is already there, including astronomy, which has been so precise thousands of years.
But only thing, we don't have the person to do it accurately. So that's why people lose faith in astrology, right?
Betul. It's all about the money. So yeah, if I give
You
had
have to
all the
set
money in
up
the
a
world.
nice place and educate, right? So we always lack of money.
Mm.
Thank you, Mataji.
You're welcome.
Anybody else would like to share? What would you like to do if you have enough? You had enough money to do whatever you like. What will you do? Anyone?
Hi.
Yes, Tamari Mataji.
Hi. Sorry, I just logged in.
Oh my,
uh,
let's hear from you.
yeah, I was actually I was thinking about this question just now. I was in the park with my son.
Hmm.
Uh, so actually, my long-term dream lah to have to help youth for in their studies.
You.
Yeah, so now, especially our Indian youth, is some of them are not studying, even though they're very clever, because the financial constraint. So if I have money, I want to have a means to
Tamarai
help them.
Foundation.
Maybe not as a foundation.
Lotus Foundation.
Some yeah, possibly to grant loan, no, not loan, scholarships, sorry, yeah,
Wow, very
sponsor kids, yeah, sponsor kids, yeah. That's even myself during my studies also, I took out from my EPF,
UBC.
yeah, to study and all that stuff. But it's my own money, so I don't have to depend on anyone or repay kan. So still fine.
Not
So
everybody has that facility.
yeah, so that's why my EPF is kosong a bit.
Hmm.
So that's always been my dream, to help in studies. I don't know about helping in other way, but in their studies. Because I was sometimes thinking, if I had enough money, I would have gone overseas. Kan?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, as continuing my study degree time, I would have gone, but unfortunately, I didn't have enough funds. So I want people. I want to help people. Yeah, poor kids, especially smart poor kids, but no opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, very noble intention also, Mataji. So we have 2 points for education. That's very noble of you both.
Oh, who is another one?
Oh, earlier Kajai Mataji said she wants to engage the money to
Uh,
like academy or institution to teach people on the science of religion, which is based on the Vedas. Even though Vedas has everything there, but it's not, I think, really, people haven't really grasped the essence of it. Like for
yeah.
example, very interested in spreading the knowledge of astronomy. See, a lot of people losing trust in astrology and everything because the people who interpret it and speak on it, they may not be accurate. So people lose trust in that. But astronomy itself, astrology itself, is very high science actually. So yeah, you see, education, that is like a spiritual education, and this is material education, both also important. We need to strike the right balance. And yeah, like I think the Surya has, right, Agaram Foundation. It's very good. It's very noble of him that he's a celebrity, even though he's earning money in a material means, but he's engaging in giving it back to the poor children. So that's good. It's really beneficial for people giving back to the community. Okay, let's go for one more person. One more person. Anybody? Anything different than that? If you had enough money to do whatever you like, what would you do? I would probably give a lot of money for prasadam distribution at this point, right? I think want to give more to support this, because I don't think we can depend on government. We can see that it's actually people are working for people. So yeah. Okay, so we will move. You see that we can see that we would like to do so many activities in life. Okay, generally, if you ask people, they want to do charity. Naturally, people want to do things for others. All right, rarely actually we see. Now, I think it's the realization nowadays. People are becoming more spiritual. I think and then maybe the spiritual knowledge is widely available, so they see the need of taking care of the welfare of other beings. Okay, however, we need to know all these actions that we want to engage in has certain reactions. Okay, so this week, all right, that's why I did not give the topic upfront. Okay, this week we are going to discuss something that is not very new to you. It's very, very common, very popular. Okay, this is the consequences of some of the actions and their reactions. So who can guess what topic is it going to be today? That's a very interaction session.
Mataji. That's karma, right?
Wow, pandai lah Mataji. Yeah. Okay. Sinful and pious activities. Okay, generally known as karma. Who remembers what we did last week? What topic we did last week? Last Sunday.
Reincarnation.
Yes, reincarnation. Okay, so we saw how our next body is influenced by our karma. Okay, so that's why we are going into karma today, right? So before we move into the karma topic, we want to do recap. Okay, what was the first lesson in spiritual life? It's all going back to the questions that human beings ask.
We are not this body,
But a
spirit
Soul.
soul.
yes, that's
Soul.
right. I am not the body, but a spirit soul. Okay, so remember the reactions that we get, the reincarnations that we go through, we take, it's because we have counteracted something in our life. Okay, so this one we call as the incubation period, how a person gets the disease, he contract the disease, and then it takes some period to, to develop the symptoms, to develop the, severity of the sickness, and then the sickness actually comes in full form and then affects the body and everything. Okay, so similarly during this life, okay, so during this life, this disease that we are taking in, it takes a lifetime for us. This is a lifetime incubation. So we are incubating whatever virus inside us for a lifetime. And then later when we die, it shows, the result is shown in our next life. Okay, what are we actually counteracting with? Okay, for example, a person who comes in contact with virus, then they get COVID. Okay, so what are we interacting with? Okay, what are we interacting with, which will determine our life the next time? What are we interacting with?
Material nature.
Oh, you're so clever. Yes, Mataji. We are actually interacting with the material nature, and thus we are contracting that disease. Okay, so that disease actually will give us the particular set of senses, particular type of body in our next life. Okay, that is the association. Our association with the material nature will give that karmic reactions, and we will get the particular body next life. Okay, so this is the concept, all right? And that will be the effect. The effect will be the kind of bodies that we get. How many millions of species of lives? How many wardrobes we can choose from?
8.4 million.
Yes, and then remember we saw how many thousand species of life living in the water, 900,000. 2 million non-moving living entities like trees and plants, 1.1 million species of insects and reptiles, million species of birds. Okay, so like this, there are certain number of species of life for different category of animals. Okay, so what are these called? We are jumping from one animal to one animal and finally to human, or probably we'll go back to animal and then jumping. What do we call this? The process that soul is taking up different bodies.
Transmigration.
Yes, transmigration. Transmigration of the soul. So which means the living entity in material world carries something. What is that sloka? Can you recall that sloka? How actually we are carrying our impression? Is there's an example given. What is that in the sloka? The example, you know, how we carry our impressions from life to life. As the air. Remember, there's one sloka. As the air carries the
Aroma.
yes. Why so soft, Mataji? Yeah, as the air carries aroma. So, what is our next action? So we know that it's going to go on forever and ever and ever across million species of life, millions years. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? How to?
Break the reincarnation loop.
You wrote down the notes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. How to break the reincarnation loop. So how?
Through transcendental knowledge.
By
Yeah.
what?
Engaging in devotional service.
Okay, so that is
Chanting.
the yes, that is the detailed process. But what Krishna says in one sloka, Janma karma chami divyam. Janma karma. Janma means birth, karma means activities. So whose birth, whose activity Krishna is talking about?
His.
Yeah, so one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance, appearance means janma, and activities, karma means activities, does not upon leaving the body take his birth again. So of course this chanting, reading, hearing, everything, all these are the process. But what are we trying to gain from here? To know the transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance and activities. Because Krishna says, if you understand my appearance and activities, you will not take birth again. So how do we do that? By hearing, chanting, all this devotion service. Then all these other means. The goal is to understand the nature of Krishna. So this is the way out. All right. This is the axe that we need to use to cut down this tree. How to break the incarnation loop. So finally, we concluded that we want to cut this loop. All right, so we already know this, we have this knowledge, okay, there is this karmic reaction that gives us next body, and then this next body we wouldn't really know whether we're going to get a better human life or lower human life or even going to fall down to animal kingdom. We wouldn't know. So with this knowledge, whether it's going to make any difference to us in life, definitely yes. All right, so from now on, okay, we are going to make changes in our lives. How are we going to tweak our life so we do not want to fall into the traps of these karmic reactions? Okay, now why I put this book here, coming back. This is a very nice book. This is one of the earliest books that I read. It's very fascinating. It talks about a lot of this reincarnation. You see this cover here. This old man goes out from this door and one small boy coming in. So it's all in our hand. How many times we're going to go through this circle? Okay, so not necessarily we come back in a human form. That is the most fearful, the worst fear. We'll never know. Okay, one fear is taking birth and death repeatedly. Number two is whether we are going to come back in human form or animal form. We'll never know. Or a plant form. We're going to stand for hundreds of years. I don't know how long we're going to do that if you're born as a tree. So it's scary to think like that, right? Okay, so first question. Why do we take reincarnation? What determines our next life? Why do bad things happen to good people? Okay, why? The question, the answer to all these questions is because our present body is the result of a long series of actions and reactions in previous lives. Have you seen somebody saying, I don't know which life's karma I did that I'm suffering like this? Which means there is a realization of that person that he has taken so many lifetimes in the past that he has no clue which sin that he did in the past has fructified now, whether it's a sinful activity or pious activity. Sometimes it was just a seed many lives ago and then it fructifies now. Okay, so this happens here. Why do bad things happen to good people? So, sometimes people have a very virtuous life. All right. And then we wonder why bad things keep happening to this guy, because we will never know what this person has done in the past life. Don't know how many life ago. Okay. But remember, animals do not have karmic reactions. Okay. It's only humans. So in which human life he has done what, that he is suffering or enjoying the fruit of his activities. So it was some seeds long ago that it fructifies now. All right. So I also mentioned this previously. So that doesn't mean we give up by saying, oh, why why the bad people are enjoying? Might as well I also do bad things and I enjoy. So, but how sure are you? How sure are you? Right? Hold on. Okay, so we are not very sure. Okay, so why do we take reincarnations? What determines our next life? All this because of the long series of actions and reactions. All this. Okay, this this statement answers all these questions. All right. Okay, so the ultimate answer is this: the law that governs this is known as karma. This is the law of nature. Okay, what is the concept of karma? Karma in English is either work or action. Okay, so Matajis, how do you define karma, or how do you conceptualize karma? What is the karma's concept? You use in science as well. Matajis?
Action and reaction.
Every action.
Say that again, Mataji. Repeat, please.
Every action got reaction.
Yes, every action has a reaction. Okay. What determines our present body? Present body. What determines our present body?
Our previous
mind.
actions.
Okay, Kajai Mataji.
Our previous life actions.
Very nice. Previous actions. What determines our next body?
Current actions in this life. Present actions.
You got the soalan bocho or what? Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so now we know the present body that we have now is because of our previous actions, and what are we going to get in the future is current actions. Okay, very easy, huh? Simple, huh? How do we know whatever activities we have done is pious or impious? Okay, let's see. We want to get it right. Okay, generally everybody might understand pious means good, impious means bad. So we want to know what is good, what is bad. All right. So there are some pictures here. Okay, pious or impious?
Yes.
Pious, very good. Pious or impious?
Impious.
Impious. Violence. He's causing hurt. Okay, he's hurting a dog. All right. Okay. Pious or impious?
Fire.
Very good. So thanks to many of you who have donated for the food distribution, prasadam distribution. So you are definitely doing a pious activity. However, because you are distributing prasadam, there will be no reactions. It's called what karma?
Vikarma.
No, vikarma is bad reaction,
Karma.
bad actions.
Karma.
Karma, very good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Impious or pious?
Yes.
Pious is, I think she's donating some blankets, yeah. Okay. Impious or pious? The boy is walking. He doesn't realize that he's stepping on an ant. Is it pious or impious?
This is the one where it's either or, right, Mataji?
There's only one answer. Hold on, Mataji, excuse me for a while. Listening for a while. Okay, Mataji, got answer already? Pious or impious? Susah ke question? This is impious because the ant is dying. Okay, that is so
Quite difficult when you don't realize you're doing something.
yeah. Do you know? Okay, this is the one we're gonna expand here. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I have given you the answer that he has committed a sin. Poor boy, he doesn't even know what is he walking on. Definitely, if he sees the ants walking, I'm sure a little one will never want to step on the ant. But the poor thing doesn't know that's the ant there. So why did he commit the sin? Regardless whether we know or not what we are doing, it is either sin or pious. That is for sure. So why we think, why is it said that he commit a sin? Why did he commit the sin? This is some like a brainstorm thing. Anybody can throw in anything. What do you think? Why do you think he commit the sin?
Committing sin because another life is taken.
Okay, life.
Life is perished.
Okay, so why?
Taken.
Okay, the sin happened because the life is taken. So that it is some a death is caused. But why in the first place he did that? Why he stepped on the ant?
But it's like grandmother's story, you know, that the ant have done the same thing to us.
Must be a reason, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But why did
Intentional,
he do that? Why
Mataji.
did that?
It's
Yeah.
like a mosquito bite us. A reflex, we will hit the mosquito. It's
Very
not like
nice.
we want to kill the mosquito, right? It's a reflex.
Yeah.
So the boy is walking. He doesn't know what's there. It's how do I put it?
Very
Yes,
good, Mataji. You said what did you say just now?
it's a reflex. He doesn't know what it is. Oh, I don't know
Yes.
what I said.
He
This is
doesn't know that the ant is there, right?
something he does every day. He walks every day. He can't see.
No, actually, you got a point there. You said he doesn't know there is an ant there.
Mm.
Okay. So like this, many of us are doing things not knowing what are we actually doing, what we actually causing. So I remember I was like making a fuss that a small tiny bug fell in my food and I didn't want to eat. My grandmother said, "Oh, what are you talking about? You don't even know when you breathe, you're actually breathing in one mute of insects." Like that. She said, "What? I'm breathing one mute of insects? That is so gross." Yeah, the thing is, we can't see what is going into our body. We don't even know how many tiny things living inside our body. We don't know. Okay, so is that a reason why we can go on living like that? It's okay, I didn't know. It's okay, I didn't know. It's okay, I didn't know. So most of the time, the sins are committed because of ignorance, because we don't know. This don't know thing is called ignorance. Okay. So let's discuss. Okay, let's think. Think of some things that we do every day that we commit sin due to ignorance, that we don't realize it. Okay, the stepping on ant is one example. Breathing, like my grandma say, breathing one mute of insects is a unintentional sin. What else can we think of? We
I
can
think
think of actually a lot.
cleaning the house.
Ah,
A lot of
this
ants, you know,
is
along.
it?
And another
Mataji,
thing is the garden also, you know, that I have all this pest, you know, so I have to like put all the pest control stuff.
But pest control means knowing already lah, Mataji.
Mataji, how about the food that we eat?
Tell me about it, Mataji. I
For
wanted to.
example, if I want to eat potatoes, I have to literally kill the whole plant, right? Because it's the root. But I need to do it if I want to eat. I'm not going to talk about non-vegetarians. I'm just going to focus on plants.
Right.
So I don't have a choice.
Yeah,
I need
you
to
have to
survive,
eat,
I
right?
need to eat, so I need to kill the plant. So that's probably one example.
Definitely, we are killing a living entity. That's agreeable. Okay. We will come to that. So now I just want to hear, why are we ignorant? Why? So we know, okay, we are killing a plant, we're going to eat, we pull out the whole plant, ouch, we're eating it. So we're actually committing a sin there, actually. So what else? Okay, killing a plant and doing pest control. Okay, what else? Anybody saying something here? Ignorances, please.
In agriculture, when we have to plow the land and all that, and all those living things in the soil will die with, when the sun gets to it.
Yes, that's right. So why are we doing all of this? We know if pest control, we're going to engage pest control, or we're going to kill living entities. And like Ajay Mataji, we know we're going to eat potato. We have to eat potato by we're pulling out the whole plant. And then we know we're going to, farm some crops, and we still have to kill all these other weeds and bugs and everything. So why are we so ignorant? What are we going to do about it? Actually, we want to know why are we ignorant about it. we try to ignore that part of it. We are ignoring that part. Why?
Are we being selfish?
Why we are being selfish? What we do not have to understand that. What we don't have. So
We don't have the
now,
knowledge.
yeah, Kajai Mataji, say that again.
We don't have the knowledge.
Yes, you're very close. We do not have the real knowledge. Now, what is this real knowledge about? What is it about, this knowledge? We are very close already. We're talking about pest control. We're talking about the insects that we are killing.
We don't have spiritual knowledge.
Yes, Mataji?
We don't have spiritual knowledge.
Okay,
Yeah.
correct. This is the real knowledge. We do not have the real knowledge or spiritual knowledge. Now, this spiritual knowledge is about what?
Consciousness.
What
Not conscious of our actions. Okay, what consciousness?
Conscious about what? Consciousness about what?
I can see two things. Number one is
So,
karma.
What is
So-
that, Mataji? Yashoda?
so
Yes, because we do not have the real knowledge of the soul. Nobody teaches us the science of the soul. Finally, I got all the answers. All of you are wonderful. Okay. All right. So the knowledge that we are getting now in this civilization, in this material world, this modern civilization, we are learning a lot of things. But how much of this knowledge? Okay, Mataji, carry on. So how much of this knowledge are touching on the science of the soul? Okay, so that is why we are here, right? Spiritual knowledge. Because no one teaches us the science of the soul, which is the real knowledge. All right, why? Why nobody is teaching us? So many questions. Why? Why?
Because it's the time we live in. This is Kali Yuga. So naturally, there's a decline.
Okay, so why it's declining? Are we doing something that we are causing it to decline? Are we not acting on it? How does this happen? Why is this happening? Why is it's not being solved?
I think we are in a rat race, to achieve material success.
Okay,
Everybody.
the pursuit of this material happiness, what are we missing? What are we not doing?
To engage in spiritual knowledge.
Okay, so how that is something that we are not doing. It is going back to those questions that human beings ask, and we are not asking that.
we didn't go for a search for a lot.
Barry, you're almost there.
Yeah, we always want to there's one word I forgot. You need to search, look for God, why I'm here, why I exist, no?
Yes.
You need to look for it, searching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Searching, this asking, it's all called inquiry. Okay, right. So this is from Bhagavatam, right? Let me bring that. So in Bhagavatam, it says, can somebody read for us, please? Now everybody pay attention, yeah? Somebody can go. Yashoda Mai Mataji.
As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. But its sinful or biased karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called
Karma.
karma, color with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. All right, so I'm sure all of you can relate the third one. This one we have repeated so many times. Okay, whenever we are engaged in fruitive activity, fruitive activity means you plant a tree and the tree gives you fruit. So that is fruitive activity. That the action that you're planting a tree and giving you fruit is called fruitive activity. Okay, the planting is fruitive activity, and the fruit of the tree is your reactions. Okay, now so this one is very clear. If a person engage any kind of karma, it never says that if a person engaged in bad activities, it simply says activity. All right, the mind is called karmatmaka, which means it's colored with fruitive activity. All his activities are based on expecting a fruit, a result. Okay, now, why the result is not so good? Because as long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, whether it's a sinful or pious activity, you always get a resultant action. It may be good result or a bad result. Result is result, right? You cannot go and say that, I fail, I don't want this mark, teacher, please mark it as invalid. It's not like that. You have to take the marks. Okay, so this verse actually emphasizes we do while in ignorance will cause more issues because you don't know what you are doing. Okay, and this will bind us more and more in the material world. Knowingly doing something is different, and when you are committing something unknowingly, it's even worse. Okay, so we need to open up the eyes to know whether what we are doing is right or wrong. Okay, so we want to know that. So we don't want to remain in ignorance. Okay, so real knowledge triggers us to ask relevant questions. So we remember all the relevant questions. Anyone remember what was the first question we learned? So we're always going to do this recap, yeah? First question. These are some. Yeah, sorry, Mataji.
Who am I?
Yes, who am I?
Why we suffering?
Yes, I wanted to give a clue if people cannot. So it looks like I don't have to give a clue. Why am I suffering is tied to a subsequent week, our module. We are suffering where? We learn something. Actually, basically what I'm trying to say is there were three main questions, but we had 4 modules to cover these 3 questions. So this second picture and the upcoming third picture is related, pretty closely related. So if anybody can remember what is the third one. We are not going to the third question. Okay, we are still on the second question. Why am I suffering? But it's closely related to the subsequent module. What was that? If cannot answer, I'm going to give a clue first. But I want you all to parak otak sikit.
Is it the mode, the material?
You are there, Mataji, you are there.
What is the material world? I said?
You see, I see. I'm so impressed. So what is material world? All right, we learned all this. You remember the prison and all that? Okay. Now we are going to the third question. Third question.
Who's God?
Yes. Who is God? And what is my relationship with Him? So these are the relevant questions to trigger real knowledge. Okay, so just like a healthy man may get infected if he doesn't wear a mask. Okay, if you don't wear a mask, you'll get infected. So this material world is a dangerous place where everybody is prone to commit sin at some time or other. That is why vaccine is not 100% shield. Sanitizing your hand is not 100% shield. Okay, so It's all together. If you do not wear a mask, you go and have a close contact with the patient, no matter how many vaccines you have taken, how many times, you sanitize yourself, you will contract the disease. So when you are in contact of this material nature, you will sure to contract the disease. So that is the fact. All right. Like a healthy man put in an infectious place. Everybody is prone to commit sin at some time or other. Now, I'm going to ask a little bit technical question. We have covered this in level 1. We have covered this in level 2. So general concept is that when we come in contact with the material nature, we contract the disease, correct? Now, what is that in this material nature that made us do the things that we don't want to do sometimes? We are forced to do certain things. What is that? What is that?
Attachment.
Three modes of nature.
Yeah, oh my God, so easy. I thought it's going to be hard to bring out the answers. Yes, it's 3 modes of material nature. What are those modes?
Passion, ignorance,
And
and
ignorance, goodness.
goodness.
Yeah, so under this mode of goodness, we will act in certain way. Under this mode of passion, we'll act in certain way. Under the mode of ignorance, we'll act in certain way. And each of these mode will give us certain symptoms and we will get certain results. Okay. Most of us are in the passion. It's always mixed. Nobody is purely goodness, purely passion, purely ignorance. It's always mixed. However, the mixture will have something more prominent the other, and it's not always from baby until die. It's not always like, oh, the passion always supersede ignorance. It's not like that. Sometimes the goodness prevails, sometimes it's the passion dominates, sometimes the ignorance dominates. So it's like a, the puppet thing, right? It's like going up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so depends on our nature, we'll act in certain way, and when we act in certain way, we get the corresponding the reaction accordingly. Okay, so it's very important to know that that we are acting in certain way because of these 3 modes of material nature. All right, so that is why it is said that don't hate the sinner, hate the sin, because the activities needs to be condemned, not that person, because of his previous the impression from his previous life has given him certain nature that he has to act in certain way. So when we have that knowledge, then there is always a battle, there is always an interaction. Okay, this is my nature, however my conscience should come over it and need to tweak that. All right, sometimes for example, you want to always do something very passionate, then the knowledge, or if I'm being passionate, then what if, like a driving car, right, very you want to race like that, and then what if you die in an accident? So you are dying in the mode of passion, so that's not good. We always try to die in the mode of goodness, so try to overcome that. Okay, so devotional services will help in that. So this is very important understanding. Yeah, okay, we will not go into that because we covered that in the 3 modes material nature chapters in level 1 and level 2. All right, so how do we do this? We dissipate ignorance by cultivation of transcendental knowledge. We have to read and hear. Okay, now let's go into the cooking. Somebody raised, okay, about I think Kanti Mataji said, right, we have crops and then we do the weeding out and then we're killing the bugs and everything. Okay, so how so what happens? Okay, we are telling, okay, killing animals for our sense pleasure is sinful. How about you vegetarians killing plants? How about you pulling out the whole potato root with the root, potato plant with the root, and then the bugs you are killing while you don't even know whether there's a bugs inside the rice, you just cook with it, and then you're killing. We are definitely killing. Killing is happening. So the activities is sinful. Okay, it doesn't mean we are vegetarian, we're not doing anything sinful. But how devotional service counteract that? Okay, this is in BG 3.13. Can we have Meena Mataji to read? Mataji has been pretty quiet today. Meena Mataji, would you like to read? Are you there? I think the rest of us already spoke.
I'm
Okay,
here.
Mataji.
I'm here, Mataji.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't have
please
to.
read that station.
Okay, I have it now. Can I just read this one?
English. The English, yeah.
Yes. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin.
Yes, because we are not saying thanks to the Lord who provide the food. Okay, so we know there's a lot of sins incurring in our food even though it's vegetarian. Okay, so what happens is that the food is sanctified because we offer it to the for pleasure of Krishna. Okay, so Krishna will purify it and we are taking it as Krishna's prasadam. Prasadam means mercy. Okay, all right, so remember the boy stepping on ant. We are breathing air filled with tiny bugs, and then lots of insects are killed in the farming process or harvesting. So we kill so many living entities in the process. So our very existence itself, it cannot be sinless at all. All right, you cannot remember there's one time I told we cannot just sit and think we're not doing anything. So you'll never know whether we are stepping on some ants underneath. All right. Okay, also we are taking a lot of things from the nature and not giving back. Okay, so it is sinful. So how do we free ourselves from these unknowing sinful activities? We do everything in the name of Krishna. Okay, we are eating, then we offer first. Okay, so like that. All right, and we are working, so we donate some amount of money to Krishna. Let our existence purify this way. So this way the existence is purified. Okay, so this person here, this Prabhu here, he's offering very nice boga. We call it boga. Boga means food that is not offered. I mean, not purified yet. Okay, it's still in the unoffered mode. All right. So after you present the boga to the Lord, and the Lord takes it, and then we will take that as prasadam. Okay. Now, so we are done with this unintentional sin in cooking. We are going to talk about pious activities. Let's talk about good activities. Why, Mataji? Pious activity is good, right? I'm doing good for other people. Okay, let's see what is the reaction of that, right? It's nothing bad, but let's see. So there are 4 effects of pious activities. Okay, number 1, when we have accumulated a lot of pious activities in our life, we will take birth in a rich family. Okay, look at the first picture. Or we will take birth in an aristocratic family. Okay, like a royal, aristocratic means royal, right? Some VIP like that. Or we will look beautiful. So if you see somebody is so beautiful, then you definitely know this person has done a lot of good things in the past. Or when the person, even if a person is very highly educated, it's all because of the good things they have done in the past have given them all these rewards. Good or not, Matajis? Good or not?
Good.
Looks good, but it can also have an adverse effect.
What is that, Mataji? I will like to hear. It's nice.
Look can be deceiving, you know, and rich people are not all nice people anyhow. Not all, you know.
When they look beautiful, they might want to, flaunt it more than others. So,
Yeah, I don't mind the flaunting, you know, they're beautiful, but you know, the attitude, the behavior, you know, the other people are lesser being than them, you know, that kind of attitudes, you know. And rich people also same thing, you know, and they treat you differently. You know, they treat you like a dirt, for instance. That's not good. Yeah, there are some people, you know, they're so humble.
Yes, not all.
Yeah, but there are some rich people, you know, they won't even talk to you if you're not wearing the right watch, you know, the branded watch, the branded clothes, you know. Yeah,
Premium.
yeah, the premium product, you know.
Yes, Mataji. So it's
So what is the point of they have done the good thing when this life where they are totally, you know,
like the elephant after coming out from a nice bath and put the sand all over the body like that, huh, Mataji? Yeah. Okay, so these are how they affect others. So let's see what are these people go through themselves. Okay, those people who take birth in rich family, those people who take birth in aristocratic family, those who look beautiful externally, like just now Kajai Mataji said, of course God will not make anybody ugly. Okay, so this is like the basically we are looking at the external looks. All right, and those who become highly educated. So all these people may tend to be arrogant. So these are all relative problems. Like we say, not everybody can be arrogant, not everybody can be stingy or selfish, not everybody. These are relative. So let's talk about the real problem. So when I say real problem, what comes to your mind? What real problem can be affecting these four types of people here?
All temporary.
Okay, before that, yeah. Similarly, during this life, if you associate with various modes of material nature, and that association will decide what kind of body you are going to get in the next life. Okay, so tell me, what is the real problem these four kinds of people will face?
Well,
Yes.
the guy who's got a lot of money might be greedy. You want more money. The one who's beautiful might, be very passionate. You know what I mean? And I
Okay,
don't
but
know.
these are a relative problem or a real problem, Mataji. So we did this in the
That's relative problem.
yes. So
Relative.
could be the real problem menyelubungi empat orang ni.
They all will go through the birth, old age, illness, and death.
Yes, on point, Mataji. So that is a flip. This is called flip side effects of pious or impious activities. Whether you have accumulated good reactions or bad reactions, you need to get a gross body again to come and enjoy or suffer the results of your actions. Okay, so everybody has to enter the womb of a mother, whether it's animal or human. Okay, after you take birth, you go through old age, you go through disease, and finally you still have to go through death. Okay, no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how rich you are, no matter how highly educated you are, no matter which king's family you're being born in, you will have to take a birth. You don't magically appear, right? And you will age. Okay, it will not be like there's one show on the Netflix, what age of Adeline or something. She after a certain age, she doesn't age. So nobody goes through that. All right, I don't know, if I haven't finished watching the movie. It's pretty interesting. Don't know what happened at the end. All right, so the story is like she stopped aging, and at one point her daughter became gray haired. She's a white hair already. She looks like her grandma, like that. Yeah, so nobody has stopped aging. Okay, you can use your collagen or whatever, Botox and everything. We will eventually age and we will eventually die. All right, so to enjoy, even to enjoy our pious karma, we have to take birth to enjoy the good results, and it leads to the four kinds of miseries. And what are the four kinds of miseries? Birth, death, disease, old age. How are we going to break this? We know that to understand the Krishna's transcendental nature. And how do we solve this exactly? Krishna says in a very among the last verses in chapter 18. Can anybody tell me what is it? And this is also the goal of Bhagavad Gita. What is goal of Bhagavad Gita?
Always remember him.
Okay, so one goal is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna.
Surrender.
Yes. Okay. Mataji, Kanti Mataji, would you like to read?
Okay. How to solve the problems of BDOD?
Birth, death, old age,
Birth,
and
death, old age, and death. Birth, disease, and old age and death. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So I just wanted to stress this again. Many times people think that it's good enough to do a lot of pious activities, but sometimes they fail to understand that pious activity, if it is not in the intention to please Krishna, the result, you are entitled to enjoy the result. Okay, so you will still have to come back here. So when you come back, you have all these problems. And then there's also three kinds of miseries. Can anybody remember what are these three kinds of miseries caused by three elements? Did we cover that previously? In material world, we covered that, right?
Yeah, caused
Adi.
by
Yeah.
nature, is it? There's one.
Yes.
Misery caused by nature. Other
Yes.
people and self, I think.
Wow, very good, Mataji. Did you write down notes or it's from your memory?
This one memory.
Oh, very nice, Mataji. Yeah, very nice. So apart from these four real problems, we have three causes of miseries caused by our own self, mind, body, soul, mind and body. Number two, caused by other living entities or others. It could be people or animal. Number three, by nature. Adi Daivika, Adi Bautika, Adi Atmika. Atmika means us. Adi Bautika means other living entities. Adi Daivika means natural disasters. So can you see recently what has happened? Right? Who caused it? The nature. Okay, of course, ultimately people say it's because the government did not take care of the sewer system and all those, but it came because of rain, right? Because of that. All right. So this is natural disaster. Maybe the severity was bad because of humans' invention. Okay, there's one verse in chapter 13. Krishna will say, all this material creation, this process is already perfectly arranged by me. Maya Dyakshena Prakriti. Can somebody just quickly Google up that sloka for me, please? Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam Hetunani Kaunteya. Something Mataji, maybe Punita Mataji, Yashoda Mataji can quickly Google that up. So that one, Krishna will say, you can Google up the Sanskrit or the translation for our quick understanding. Krishna will say everything he already perfectly arranged. Okay, he has perfectly arranged. For example, in the highlands, the temperature is very cold, right? For example, you have snows, all right? So when it gets heated up, right? When the heat increases, the water is released. The snow will melt and then it will cascade down in river, and it will provide water to the people living around the banks. So it will give sufficient water. But what happens when people start cutting trees or the heating up of the planet Earth? So the water comes down very fast. The probably the river cannot hold it, and that's where the water overflows and destroy people along the banks. So why this happening? Because human intervened that. Krishna already planned everything so perfectly. You go and kachao that, and then disaster happens. So we cannot say, oh God, why you are testing me with this flood? Yeah, but we have to know nature is already perfect as it is. Krishna already said, Maya Dakshina Prakriti, he already said that. But because we interfere with that, so we are suffering for the whatever that we have caused. All right, it's not that God wants to punish us or whatever. All right, Mataji, where are the slokas? Still cannot find yet, is it? Okay, so while waiting, we will move on. Okay, here Krishna already say how to solve, by surrendering. Okay, earlier we saw to understand the nature of Krishna's appearance and activities. All right, so what happens when we surrender to Lord Krishna? Kajai Mataji.
What happens when we surrender to Lord Krishna? After attaining me, the great souls, who are yogis in devotion, never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection.
Right. So here Krishna is saying the final result. So when you remember my transcendental nature or appearance and activities, and then you surrender unto me, you will come to me. And once you come to me, you will not return to this planet. Because why? This is a place of miseries. You don't need this place. Okay, because you already attained the highest perfection, you don't have to come back. So here Krishna is talking about the spiritual world. All right, why Krishna is giving this guarantee? Because being in this material world is like burning our finger. So once burn our finger, would we want to put that finger in the fire again? So yeah, we wouldn't want to do that. We don't want to burn our hand again. Okay, so why Krishna says this? Why Krishna says this? Okay, he says that knowing all this, you will not come to me. And then remember where I said whenever we do things for our own pleasure, for our own fruitive activities, results of our activities, we want to enjoy the fruit, we are going to come back again and again. So why is it like that? Why is it so wrong for us to do activities, for us to enjoy? Why can't I enjoy my own hard earned money, like that? Krishna says that. Krishna answers that here. Tamare Mataji.
Work done as sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage.
Yes. So now you can tie it, right? When we do things for our own enjoyment, that is a bondage. What is this bondage? Whatever reaction that we are getting, that is bondage. Okay, and when we do it for Vishnu, we will always remain free from bondage. Can somebody tell me where this word Vishnu came from from the sloka? I don't see any Vishnu here on the sloka. Can somebody tell me how? Can enlighten me? Anybody? Yashoda Mai Mataji? Punita Mataji? Kanti Mataji? Okay, so this term Vishnu, Yajna. Yajna means Vishnu. Okay, so try to remember that. Yeah, Yajna artat karmano nyatra. Yajna means Vishnu. Okay, so if you don't do it for Vishnu, it will cause bondage. Okay, because Arjuna was talking about sinful reactions. What is that 5 reasons Arjuna didn't want to fight for? The reasons he gave? Back to level 1. The short acronym is, yes, SD. Okay, let's give a quick recap. Who can give me what is the SD? What is C?
His compassion.
Compassion to all living entities. What is E? Forgot Mataji's? E? Anybody beleking the buku? E. Mataji's forgot, is it? Are you all there? I think I need to ask you all to on the video because I don't know who is at the other side. Arjuna talks about something on enjoyment.
Okay, got it. Compassion, enjoyment, sinful reactions, destruction, and indecision.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the E, Mataji?
Enjoyment.
Enjoyment. What mean? Because this is a way to remember this information, but the enjoyment itself doesn't stand as an answer on its own. So we need to elaborate that a bit.
No enjoyment in defeating the relative.
Yes, because remember when we win something, we want to have a cheers session with our friend, and Arjuna finds I don't have anybody do a cheers session after I win. So compassion for living entities, no enjoyment if he wins the battle. Sorry, S. S is
Sinful reaction.
sinful reactions due to
Killing the guru.
killing the guru, relatives, and friends. So D.
Destruction
Of
Families.
He-
and,
He's
Families.
wiping out his whole family.
Okay, how do we elaborate that destruction of family or family tradition? Is it destruction of family or destruction of family tradition?
All because the head of the family will not be there and the wife will go into, you know, the children will not know guidance.
The younger ones will stop doing oblations, all this will stop. So this is what Arjuna say, if the leaders are killed in the battle and the family will not continue, the younger ones, the younger generation will not continue the tradition. So destruction of family tradition. Finally,
Indecision.
indecision. Indecision between what and what? Indecision means we are not sure which decision to make. So what are the options that Arjuna had? What is he being indecisive about?
Whether to
To
carry out.
fight. To fight or not to fight.
Yes, to fight or not to fight. So I'm going to focus on that S, sinful reactions, to relate to this sloka. Remember Arjuna said, I don't want to incur sinful reactions by killing my own kinsman. Here Krishna says, if you do your work as an offering to me, there will be no sinful reactions. Okay, in other place Krishna says, fighting will not incur sins. All right, but not fighting will incur sin. That because fighting is Arjuna's work, he has to do. Okay, if you're a doctor, you need to cut that stomach of the mother to take out the baby. You cannot say, oh, poor thing, I don't want to cut. Cannot. Okay, the baby will die in the stomach and you will bear the sin for not doing your duty. So it's like that. All right, so Krishna says, work done as sacrifice for Krishna has to be done. Okay, you see, Krishna say has to be performed. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. He never say, Arjuna, please sit idle and pray. No, he never say that. Okay. Okay, so even if you are working, right, we are working, right, it may seem very material. But if you put your consciousness on Krishna, Krishna, I'm doing it for you as a dedication for you, then the existence is purified. Okay, whatever work we are doing, the same work we can do for Krishna. With that, we will not get reaction. It will not bind you. So this is the practical way Krishna is telling Arjuna. You do your work. You do it for me, but you do it for me. You cook, you can eat. But while cooking, you think of me, you cook for me, and then you offer to me, and then you eat. All right? You have a nice, wonderful, super fast car. Okay, yes, you can use your vehicle, but of course you can use it for your daily use, but also use the car to come and visit me, like that. So we see recently so many of our Gita Gyan students are donating from our group, and then you are also sharing the information to others, and they are also contacting me to donate because they know that they cannot physically go over to the temple and do it with their own hands, but they have worked hard and they're giving that money to engage. Those who are free, they can go over and help. Those who are not free, you are doing something for Krishna's service, all right? And you're not doing just a normal vegetarian food meal, but you are distributing prashadam. So it's very purifying for the doer, the distribution, the people who are involved in distributing, people who have contributed to that through cash, and people who are taking it. So it's purifying for everybody. Okay, so this will not give us a reaction or bondage. Okay, that is why it's very important to engage people's money into this kind of service, so people will get our karma, not karma. Okay, so you are actually helping them. Okay, so we actually come to the end of this karma topic. So that's why I say it's not something very unfamiliar. It is very familiar. So it's just that we delve deeper into that, and we have covered very on point slokas for karmic reactions and topic regarding karma. Okay, so we want to do recap. Okay. Okay, can you remember what was the reason for committing sins? Why do we commit sins? Is it because we want to?
Ignorance.
Yes, correct. Ignorance. So when we realize why we have ignorance, because we don't have the real knowledge. So how real knowledge is triggered, or how the need for real knowledge affects us. What does it trigger? It triggers us to
Question.
Ask questions,
ask what kind of questions?
relevant questions.
Very good, Mataji. Very nice. Photographic memory, Mataji.
Written down.
Ah, okay. I think I repeated that. Sorry, this one. The third one. Okay, I copied the wrong one. Okay. And unintentional cooking. What was that? What did we cover? What kind of sins we incur during cooking?
Killing plants, killing bugs.
Okay.
In fire.
Yeah, this is all unintentional. We don't intend to kill them, all right? But it just happened in the process. Okay, how about the benefit of good actions? What we call that? Good actions. How do you translate that in other words? What kind of karma is that?
Akarma.
What, Mataji? Sorry?
Akarma.
No, we are not going to karma yet.
Oh,
The good karma. We have good karma, bad karma, and no karma. So I'm asking now, what is that good karma called? Sorry. Yeah. Oh my God, what did I do? Okay, pious karma, right? Okay, so pious karma. There is a flip side effect of pious karma. Soalan bocor di, sorry Mataji. Okay, what is the flip side effect? One side of the coin, we are enjoying a lot of things because of the pious activities. The other side of the coin is
go through birth, death, misery, is it?
we are going through 4 kinds of miseries. So you have covered 3 just now.
Old age.
Old age.
Okay, and what are these called? What kind of problem?
Yeah, real problems.
Effects of pious or impious activities.
This birth, death, old age, and disease, right? They are problems, but we want to know what kind of problems.
Real problems.
Real problems, something that nobody can solve. You can solve relative problems, okay, but you cannot solve real problems. Okay, so what is the correct way of doing things? Is Nishkama Karma Yoga. This is the last sloka that we covered. So what was the essence of that sloka? Can you recall? Yajnartha Karmano Nyatra. What was that, Mataji? Kanti Mataji, would you like to try to recall and say something with your own words?
Whatever you do, you must do it in my name.
Okay. All right. Otherwise?
Otherwise, you won't be free from the bondage.
Okay. So if you do it as a sacrifice for Vishnu, what is the result?
Result is you will remain free from the bondage.
Very nice, Mataji. You have really captured that words. Okay, very nice. Okay, so this is just little sharing, right? So on a daily basis or regular basis, can just anybody share what other different activities that you do? Devotional activities. I know most of you are chanting. I hope most of you are chanting. Okay, what other things that you do? I think Katimati Mataji, she just shared today, the last 2 days, today and yesterday, Mataji has been going to, Mataji, you can share with us your, yeah, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, so I joined the Food for Life group. Of course, this one is a bit different because they want to, deliver and they want to cook and deliver food for the flood victims. So past 2 days, we started from morning, from preparation till packing, and the Prabhus went to give. Thank you, Kajay Mataji. Yeah, they went to deliver to all the different places. So yeah, it was so fulfilling. So nice to see so many people coming in and helping. yeah, I was happy to do this little bit on my behalf.
Yeah, see, very nice, Mataji. It's very purifying.
Yes.
Okay, Tamare Mataji, would you like to share any devotional activities you do? I mean, since February now, I'm sure there must be some there should be some changes in your life. I'm sure there are. You hardly share, so probably you want to share. I know you have shared a lot in the past because of the Damodara month. You say how your son was engaged, so maybe you can share something, Mataji.
And then nothing much, just the normal prayers and yeah, actually nothing much, normal prayer, a little bit of chanting. But the one thing I can say is that my neighbor, in the morning, she chant and she put the Kanda Sasti, and because our apartment, the kitchen comes first, right? So I'm in the kitchen, I can hear her songs in the morning. So that's about it. Nothing special. The normal prayers.
But you did your Damodara month ghee lamp offering with your son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Damodara man, I had my son was very. Every morning he'll get up and do, and best thing is that he was cleaning up the agal velakku. So I should clean up for me. So it was that part. We had fun as a mother and son. We bonded more, I guess,
yeah,
instead of me
nice.
scolding him all the time.
Sweet bonding time. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice strategy. So one more person, just share what are the different devotional activities you do. Who else? Prema Papu Mataji, welcome. Would you like to share anything?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. My in-laws and a few more family members also was affected due to the flood. They are staying in Taman Sri Muda. So
Hmm.
that was the reason. So I've been sheltering them and their pets as well, all the dogs. And they're still here. They're old people and also young boys. They were all here. So and we went to clean up their house and all those things lah. If I want to share on the flood.
Hmm.
Other than that, other than that, I've been reading our Gita,
Yeah.
trying to read it every day, at least one slokas a day, at least one sloka a day. I'm just trying to do that as well.
Yeah, that's okay. That's inspiring,
Yeah,
Mataji. Yeah, we want to
yeah,
hear that.
yeah.
Okay, I would like
Yeah.
to hear from Yashoda Mai Mataji. Mataji, please share what are the devotional activities you do.
Just because most of the time at home, so cook 3 meals for the Lord, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Wow. Okay. Mataji is so humble, only telling one few things only. She's doing a lot actually. She's doing a lot. Mataji, tell us more.
And now I'm able to wake up early.
Uh-huh.
Last time cannot, but now can wake up early, can do my Mangalati and Tulasi Puja.
Okay. Cooking for the Lord 3 times a day, Mangalarati, Tulasi Puja. Mataji also gives class to Chinese devotees. Mataji does very nice flower arrangement for the deities in the temple. Yeah, right, Mataji. Did I miss anything else? Mataji's got
Now
a
I start
book.
reading. Kalau kita Bhagavatam, Astapanishat, I read 3 books now.
Yeah, so reading. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. All right. So basically, we want to always be inspired to do this. Read more and chant more. Okay. So those who have not started chanting or have not been regular in chanting, so I really take this opportunity to get you all to start doing it seriously in a very regular manner. If you're just doing 4 rounds, just continue, right? So not like you do 8 rounds one day and then the next day totally no rounds. So you don't want that. Just continue, okay? All right, okay. So let's have somebody to read this part here. Dissipate dirty things in the heart by chanting. Prema Papu Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Dissipate dirty things in the heart by chanting. The difference between a pious man and a criminal is that one is pure in heart and the other is dirty. This dirt is like a disease in the form of uncontrollable lust and greed in the heart of the criminal. Today, people in general are in this diseased condition, and thus crime is very widespread. When the people become purified of these dirty things, crime will disappear. The simplest process of purification is to assemble in congregation and chant the holy names of God. This is called Sankirtana, and is the basis of our Krishna consciousness movement. So if you want to stop crime, then you must gather as many people as possible for mass Sankirtana. This congregational chanting of the holy name of God will dissipate all the dirty things in everyone's heart. Then there will be no more crime. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. I just read in Haryana, I think the minister has actually introduced Bhagavad Gita in their course. So that is even better than moral book. Okay, because Bhagavad Gita is not purely religious book or how to pray and all that, right? It has a lot of good things, the value-based lessons there. So the difference between pious activities and impious activities, so one person is pure in heart, one person is not pure in heart because they want to cause harm to others. So that is impious. So how do we change impious to pious? We have to purify the heart because the intention is coming from the heart, isn't it? So to purify this, the easiest way is recommended here, is to gather as many people as possible and do a mass Sankirtan. Okay, in nearby future. Okay, hopefully. All right. So preaching is essence. So we would like to share whatever we are learning. So I hope you have you have a person to share with whatever you are learning. Okay, that in that way we will remember and it's also going to help others. Okay. Who can read? Meena Mataji. Mataji, you hear that?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Mataji.
Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Gita should be preached all over the world.
Kirata.
Krata Hona, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasa, Abirha, Sumba, Yavana members of the Kasa races, even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of Lord due to his being supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisance unto him. According to the cult of devotion, generally known as the Vaishnava cult, there is no bar assigned anyone advancing in the matter of God realization. A Vaishnava is powerful enough to turn into Vaishnava, even the Kirta no bar to becoming a devotee. As above mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9.32, it is said by the Lord that there is no bar to becoming a devotee of the Lord, even for those who are low-born or women, Sutras or Vaishnava, and by becoming a devotee, everyone is eligible to return home, back to Godhead. So by the order of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the cult of Sriman Bhagavad Gita or the Bhagavad Gita can be preached all over the world, reclaiming all persons willing to accept the transcendental cult. Such cultural propaganda by the devotees will certainly be accepted by all persons who are
reasonable
and inquisitive, without any particular bias for the custom of the country.
Yes, thank you, Mataji, so much. So these are the names of people who are very famous in committing sinful acts in the Shastras, in the Vedic stories. And it is said that a preacher can actually purify people like this also, because there is nobody is restricted in having access to this knowledge. Okay, so that is the essence of this passage. So we are coming to the end of the section. We will end this with one video here. As you sow, shall you reap. Sorry.
How should a devotee behave? His life is centered around Krishna. That is a devotee. What is the difference between a devotee and others? Meaning those who are involved in materialistic way of life. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhavya. They are involved in karmic reactions. But what does devotional service do? Nirdahati, burns out the karmic reactions. So devotees are beyond karmic reactions. In the material platform, everyone is acting and getting the results of his actions. That is simple action-reaction principle. We know in the material law of motion, to every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That applies even in the spiritual context. As you sow, doesn't it say the same thing? As you sow, so shall you reap. As you act, accordingly you'll get the result. So that is materialistic way of life. In the material nature, we act, we get reactions. Good actions or pious activities generate happiness, and sinful activities lead to suffering. Does anything happen by chance in this material nature? Is there anything called accident? No. Everything has a reason behind the happening. Everything has a cause behind the effect. Cause and effect. Behind every effect, there is a cause. And what is the cause? The cause is our previous actions. The way we acted, accordingly, we'll get the reactions. So that is one life. But is a devotee's life like that? What is the difference between a devotee life and that life? Devotee, what's the basic qualification of a devotee? When does one become a devotee? When can we consider that somebody is a devotee? When? When one surrenders unto Krishna. Didn't Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami. So what is the karmic reaction happening? Why did Krishna mention only papebhyo? Why not punyebhyo? Punyebhyo also. Pap and punya, but we are concerned about pap, because pap leads to suffering. That's why we do not want to suffer. But punya gives us happiness, so that can be tolerable. But actually, when one surrenders unto Krishna, one becomes free from both pap as well as punya. No more pap, no more punya. So that's why he says, karmani nirdahati. All the karmic reactions, dahati means what? Dahan means burn, and dahati means burns out. All the karmic reactions are completely burnt out. So that is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Non-devotees are leading their life with themselves in the center, and devotees are leading their lives with Krishna in the center.
Here Maharaj is saying that generally people are worried about sinful actions. They don't really worried about the pious actions. But actually we should be worried about both. Okay, so that is the knowledge that we want to imbibe. All right. So, any questions, Matajis? So we will continue the next module on next Friday. Is that still okay? It's New Year Eve. Is that okay, or you want to have it on weekdays? Can we still stick to Friday, Matajis?